What is going on, guys? In today's video, we are going to be doing the bottom end assembly of the N55. This is going to be part one of a multi-part series. So let's jump right into it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use these King main bearings. You're going to want to lay them into these grooves here. So let me just open these so you guys can see. There's actually two sets that come in this box, and they're going to be marked with these colorful stickers. As you can see, this orange sticker here is going to be for the actual block. These are going to be for the bed plate. So just try not to obviously mix these up. It's going to click right into position in the middle here. This one here that I pointed at, you could tell that this one is the one that uses this particular bearing, because as you can see, these grooves, they would sit right in this indented section here. And then as you can see, there's a little ridge section on these bearings, as well as on the block. There's a ridge section. You just want to line these up. You just got to give them a light tap down. They should just fall right in place. You shouldn't have to force them too much. If you think you have to force them, just lift them and try to reseat them again. So I just want to show you guys how they sit. As you can see, they all line up. There's one slightly bigger bearing that sits where the rear of the crankshaft would be. But as you can see, you want to line all the holes up. When you get to the deck plate, it's going to be the same thing, except there's no grooves in these bearings. As you can see, they're relatively flat. One other thing I forgot to mention, make sure the camera focuses. You can kind of see on this bearing, let me just try to focus it for you. As you can see, it says STD. You just want to make sure that it says that for all the bearings. That just means that they're standard sizing. You want to make sure that you don't have oversized bearings unless that's specifically what you ordered. Now that you have both sets of main bearings in, now it's time to put the crank. For the crankshaft, you kind of want it to just fall into place. You'll know when it does. You don't want to try to push it down or force it, just like anything else. So let me put that in. Again, like I said in the first part of this video, I'm using a forged steel crankshaft out of an M2. So let's get that put in. Okay, so now once the crankshaft has been seated, you don't want to rotate it while it's still dry. You do want to put assembly lube or some kind of lubricant on the bearings to the journals. But what we're going to do first is we're going to use plastigauge so we can gauge the actual measurements of all the clearances for the bearings. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut little pieces. We're going to lay them on where the journals make contact with the main bearings. We're going to lay down the deck plate, do the torque sequence, and then we're going to remove it to make sure that everything is within spec. So let's get that done. So once you have the bed plate rested and you have the bolts in place, what we're going to do is we're going to zap them from inside out, and then we're going to do our torque sequence. So as I just said, we're going to start from middle to outside. It's going to be 20 Newton meters of torque plus 70 degrees. Again, you're going to go from middle outward. Now that we torqued everything in spec and we did torque angle, now it's time to remove the bolts so we could get our clearances on the plastigauge. So as you can see, all the plastigauge has been pressed down. They all look about the same size, which is good. If you come to the end here, you want to just get it to focus. It's just about at that 0.25 to 0.38 range, which is exactly where you'd want them to be. How I recommend cleaning off the plastigauge is use a little bit of brake clean and one of these like lint-free shop rags. You can get these at Harbor Freight. Just give it a little give a little spritz, and just give it. Now that all plastic gauge is cleaned off, we want to use some level or some form of assembly lube. I'm using Redline synthetic oil. You can never use too much of this. I'd rather use too much than too little. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna remove the crankshaft. We're gonna layer it, a good coating on the main bearings inside the block, and then a good coating inside of the main bearings on the bed plate. So just for the time being, I bolted down the old bed plate bolts. I'm waiting on a new set to come. So that's just a placeholder for right now. Once you do the sealant, you just want to make sure that it's coming out of these nipple areas. There's one on the other side as well. You can get this on FCP Euros from L-Ring. And then next we're going to get to the bed plate bolts, which I'll show you guys how to do. And before I forget, you want to use this Loctite here, Loctite 17100. You want to put a little right here on the edges for the front crankshaft. So next up, we're going to put bed plate bolts in. There's these two that sit a little higher that you can see. Those are going to be these two longer bolts. And then these smaller M8 bolts are going to be the two on the ends here, 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 and here. And then the rest of the bolts are going to go along here as well as along here. So I'm about to go through the sequence of torquing the bed plate bolts. I just quickly wanted to attach the MMX crank hub I'm using just to show you guys that after all is said and done, money. And then I put a little bit of that Loctite 17100 in these little crevices here. So that's all good. And then the MMX crank hub is in temporarily. I'm going to remove it. I just wanted to install it to make sure everything could spin freely. But now we're going to go through the process of torquing all the bed plate bolts. Okay, now once you have all the bed plate bolts in, you're going to want to do these outside M8 bolts. You're going to want to do them at 8 Newton meters and 90 degrees. And then the rest of them you're going to do at 15 Newton meters plus 90 degrees. And as you guys can see, once everything is torqued to spec, again, just give it another turn. You can see how easy that we have it rotating. And that's actually going to be it for this part of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. In the next part of this series, we're going to be doing rods, pistons, and fully reassembling the bottom end, as well as the oil pump timing chain guide and putting the oil pump back in as well. So if you guys are enjoying this content, you guys are excited for the rest of the build like I am, don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment on what you're the most excited about this build, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you can stay up to date on the build on the 335. Have a great day.